All right, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about MLB stadiums and different things we like about them, some of our favorites, foods, experience, and etc. I'm joined by fellow baseball fans, Robbie, Joey, Russell, Thomas, and Josh. So first off, we're just going to talk about I'm just going to have you guys say how many stadiums you've been to and which one was your favorite, and if you want to list your top three, if you want to go that far and say what your top three were. So Robbie, do you want to go first?
Hey everybody, I've been to 13 so far. Actually, my top one is, I would say two. I like Milwaukee and I like Cincinnati. Kansas City's cool, but I think those two are the best since I've, traveled there the most. I like those two the best personally. But yeah, that's it.
Joey?
I'll get the hell out of the way. I've been to 7 MLB stadiums so far. Baltimore, of course, because that's the home one. DC, which is just like DC, sterile, has no sense of humanity to it. Would not recommend. Brave Stadium, both SunTrust and Turner Field, was actually at the first exhibition game for SunTrust, which was pretty cool. And ballpark in Arlington and Cleveland. Highly recommend Baltimore, not so much because the team is great, but because it's a great stadium and the food is awesome there.
Russell?
I have been to every stadium except for the new Texas one. Went to the old Texas one. I would say probably my top stadiums are San Francisco. Food there is great, especially if you like seafood. And obviously a great view looking over the bay. And then my other second favorite stadium is Baltimore, believe it or not. Food's great, as Joey said, and scenery is great as well. And great success there with ball hockey.
Thomas?
Yeah, I've been to 20 stadiums, 18 active. My top one is right behind me here. I love PNC Park. It's my number one park to both hawk at, as well as just take in the view of the Allegheny River and things like.
You want to say where PNC Park is for those that might not know?
Yeah, Pittsburgh, PA. And then, like Russ, you can't top Oracle Park in San Francisco, home of the Giants. And then I also enjoy Kauffman Stadium, the Royals, in Kansas City, Missouri. And it's in Missouri, for those that get confused with Kansas City.
Josh?
I'm from Cincinnati, and not just because I'm from here. I think Great American is a great stadium. I've been to 25 stadiums. However, some of those have been torn down, and also I've been to a few kind of not exactly major league stadiums. I've been to Omaha, been to Williamsport, some kind of off location, Buffalo. But yeah, Cincinnati, Great American, it's a great place. It's right on the river, great view. Pretty much everyone said this, but Baltimore, I think everyone can agree on that. It's just the ultimate baseball park. The warehouse out in right field is just one of the best add-ons to a stadium. It looks fantastic. And then I've only been I went there for a World Series game. I was there. It was
Josh?
Ladies and gentlemen, Max.
Yes.
Your internet's kind of cutting in and out. Can you repeat what you were saying?
Yeah, my screen's a bad internet connection. My bad.
You started to sound like a T-Pain for a while.
Yeah, so the new ballpark in Arlington, I was only there once for one World Series game, but the few hours I was there, I mean, it's a very nice park. It's massive. It's got a dome. The workers that were there at the time were awesome. I definitely want to go back to that one. So, yeah.
All right. So for me, my top three are San Fran, San Diego, and the old Texas. San Diego is super open. And it didn't feel it felt pretty spacious. And yeah, in Texas, the old one, nice views, easy to get around, great success there. What are some of those things you liked, or if you didn't already, is there anything specific you liked about the stadiums? Anything that you want to add about like specifics about why you like them? I know for Baltimore, it's like the warehouse, food.
Oh, it's 100%.
Um,
It's got nothing to do with the atmosphere around the stadium. It's boogs and crap. You can't go wrong with it.
Cincinnati, you said the view, right, Josh?
yeah, actually, I'll say one more thing about Baltimore. It's kind of an odd thing, but it's not something a lot of stadiums have. When you're on the main concourse, you can walk around the environment without going up and down stairs or ramps, and it's really easy to get anywhere in the stadium really quick. Outfield, infield, anywhere. Most stadiums, you have like staircases or somewhere you got to like go up or down. Baltimore's also got that walkway like between the seats behind home plate, and it wraps all the way around the stadium, and it's really quick to get places in Baltimore. It's real convenient.
All right. So next one is just overall fan experience. Is there any fan experience in the stadium that stood out, like the atmosphere, the crowds? Is there a game in particular that you kind of enjoyed? I know. So for myself, Safeco Field in Seattle when the Blue Jays were there was probably the best fan experience I've ever had. But it was one of the shittiest ball hawking experiences. And also the game here at the Rogers Center in against Seattle when James Paxton threw his no-hitter were probably my two best fan experiences I've ever been or I've ever seen. So it's just stuff like that. Is there anything that like you've had as a fan experience that you've stands out in your mind? So Robbie, do you want to go?
So when I was in Cincinnati, I'm sure Josh can say this. It was bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, and I was trying to get a toss up. And literally, old boy hits a home run in my row, and my wife was in the way, and I would have caught my first game home run. So, Cincinnati in general is just a special place to me since I almost caught a home run. Haven't got through there yet, but I just think it's just a beautiful park. And then with Milwaukee, I'm just a Brewers fan, and eating at TJ at Fridays and watching batting practice was freaking awesome. So, I mean, it's just I like Miller Park a lot. It's just a cool park to go to, and now it's American Family Field or whatever. So hopefully, the ushers and stuff don't change too much, but hopefully, watching Bernie, he hit a home run, he slides down the thing. I just think it's a cool place.
Joey?
I'm from Baltimore, so I don't know what fans are like. But like Josh was saying, it's cool that you can walk around the whole stadium and pretty much get to wherever you need to be real quick, which is good. Also, the flag court, if you've never been, it's a great place just to take in the game. It's a great place to stand for batting practice. And sometimes they launch it off the warehouse during batting practice and it comes rolling back. So can't beat that. I mean, it's the ballpark that other ballparks have been built because of. So it's more, what else can I say?
Also?
You guys are talking about fan experiences or how fans are in certain stadiums. I think I was at the game where Miguel Cabrera fought Romine from the Yankees. And I don't know if you guys have ever watched any old-time Detroit hockey. Well, that was the atmosphere that day. It was all the hockey fans out there yelling and screaming, and it was pretty cool. Miguel Cabrera, he was 0 for 4 at the plate, and he was also 0 for 3 at those swings at Romine's head. He missed every single one, but it was pretty cool to see. What's that?
Was it at Yankee Stadium?
No, it was at Comerica Park. But yeah, that was a pretty cool experience to see the crowd react to that.
Josh?
I've had a few great games in Cincinnati. Walk-offs. I've seen some clinchers. I was there for if anyone remembers, back in 2010, Jay Bruce hit a walk-off home run to clinch the division. So I've seen some good games in Cincinnati where the fan experience was great. But of any of the other teams that really stuck out to me, probably Wrigley. I've been to a couple games out in the bleachers, and the Wrigley Field bleachers is just kind of an experience you can't find anywhere else. Everyone out there is absolutely insane. They'll argue every single pitch, whether it's a ball or strike in their favor, or even from left field. But that's what makes it awesome. Everyone out there is loud the whole game, crazy. Maybe Fenway's the same way, but Wrigley out in the bleachers is kind of a unique experience.
And Thomas?
Yeah, I'd say my first year at Target Field in 2010, that's my home ballpark. So in 2010, I went to about 45 games that year, and it was just a fun just to open a new ballpark for those that have had that experience at home to welcome in a new stadium. I really like we went from the Metrodome to Target Field, so it's a night and day difference. One game that stuck out to me that year was July 17th. It was Burley and Pavano. It was White Sox Twins. For those that know, Burley likes to pitch fast. Pavano likes to pitch fast. It was the fastest game I've ever seen. It was an hour and 52 minutes. The fastest game I've ever attended that I remember by any means. It was a pretty fast game. They stopped selling beer about an hour into the game, so everybody was confused at the concessions that they were shutting down things and things like that. So it was just a really fun game to be at. It was a 3-2. It was a crooked number score. It was a fun game, but it just went really fast. It's one game that stuck out in my mind at Target Field that first year, besides getting destroyed by the Yankees again in the playoffs.
All right. So anyone have anything else to add about any other fan experience stories that they've had at a game? All right. So the next topic is just ball hockey in general at stadiums. One things that you didn't like, things you liked, your favorite stuff, your favorite stadium. So my two are the old Texas. Got in an extra half hour early before anybody else with season ticket holders. And I would also probably add Dodger Stadium as probably one of the funnest stadiums I've ball hocked at. One of the biggest shocks there is it probably had the most bounce off the warning track. So the biggest bounce I've seen off a warning track off a hit ball was Dodger Stadium. If you can go down and run it stairs up to the bleachers, so you can run down into a gap before the bleachers and run around there if a ball gets hit down there. Lots of room, early access. So those are my two favorite stadiums I've ball hawked at. So Robbie, do you want to go?
So my favorite ball hockey experience was actually when I went to the old Texas Stadium, the Rangers. It was the day before my birthday. It was the Padres versus the Rangers, and doing my tracking, I tracked the home run. Guy hit it. I was like, let me go back there. Dude hits it. I'm straight in the same spot. I didn't even move. Kid tries to catch over my glove, and I freaking caught it. It was an amazing experience. So I was like, this is awesome, all this place. And I almost caught a foul ball, too. It went up to the third deck, and I didn't wait. I wasn't patient enough to wait for it to bounce down, and it went right over my shoulder to the seat in front of me. So it was pretty fun, pretty good time. I didn't really get to ball hawk too much in that park, but I know Old Texas Stadium was special to a lot of people.
Thomas, do you want to go?
Yeah, a couple of my favorites, kind of like Robbie, I really like the old Texas Ranger Stadium at Arlington. It was, they had that center field kind of that had that shopping area looking with the white fencing and things. It was just a fun, you could run onto the berm and catch or try to catch a home run during batting practice and things. So it's just some interesting kind of things that you don't get from other stadiums that was loud in Arlington. So I really enjoyed that aspect of things. The other place I enjoy ball hocking is Cincinnati, like many others around here. There's just a lot of space. The left field, right field, there isn't a ton of area where you can't get to where balls land. So it's always a good opportunity down the lines. You can get really close. I don't know how it will be in the future, but down the lines you can get I think it's about section 112. You can go all the way down where the ball girl sits, and you can scoop them up there right on the ground level, row 1 there. So that's a nice kind of area to scoop up a ball, and a lot of home run chances. I don't play the home runs, but come to find out with new policies and practices, I may be looking to spend more time out in the outfields. But definitely Cincy and Arlington were my favorites to ball hawk at.
Josh, do you want to go?
I mean, I won't, but I could talk for an hour about how great Cincinnati is for ball hawking, because there really is a million ways to get a ball, before, during, after the game, all that. I mean, if you haven't been to Cincinnati to ball hawk, you should. It's fantastic. But
Just
outside
avoid
of
the weekend
there,
if you're going to go to Cincinnati. Avoid the weekend.
yeah, Saturdays aren't the best. I'd say probably Baltimore. I mean, for ball hockey, that's where I caught my first ball, and it was a home run. I've had great luck there every time I've been there. The flag court is great. I'd say I also have a great experience at Comerica. Stadium can be kind of strict with rules, but if you have a standing room ticket for the walkway kind of behind home plate, I've been there a dozen games. I have 10 foul balls. It's basically every time I go there, I'm catching one, and as long as you have a standing room ticket, you can have a great time there.
Joey, do you want to go?
Yeah, so my choices aren't major league stadiums. I like the minor league ones a lot better. First, I just want to point out that the Zoom meeting is only about 40 some odd minutes. So if people want to donate, here's my Cash App so we can get the longer versions to keep this going. It's money sign SWAC Jagger. It's SWACKJAGGER. So we can upgrade here because, we're all broke. But
Or
no,
you can just subscribe to my channel, increase my subscribers to 1,000, watch my videos, get me monetized, and I can maybe make some money and dish out some money. So that's another option.
just sending it to me is easier. So my favorite stadiums are Frederick Stadium, which was the high A section of the Baltimore Orioles. Now they're the MLB Draft League. Just it's a wonderful stadium. It's very open, especially behind the outfield. I don't want to give too much away, but I've gotten over a dozen game home runs there. Foul balls. I got 35 over a doubleheader from batting practice and the games. I think I got like 24 game balls that time. Another one is York, Pennsylvania, the York Revolution. It's fun. It's a unique stadium, especially behind left field, where you're actually in a residential area. Then you have a active street right there, and then you have the fence. Shout out to someone else, Tom O'Reilly. Here's his Twitter at OEMTOM. He wrote a nice article about when we went to the Atlantic League All-Star game and kind of the quirks that are back there. It's real fun. It's dangerous, which makes it even better. So, just don't go run over by a car. But it's a fun time. I recommend it for everyone, unless you're slow and you suck at playing Frogger.
Russell, do you want to go?
I have two. The old Texas, and you guys, Justin and TK, you guys hit on pretty much everything about that stadium. It's pretty easy. The gap in the middle, right? You can use your cup trick and your glove tricks. And
Yeah, the only place you can't use the cup is the gap where the grass is. You can't stand on the center field grass.
no. But-
Otherwise, yeah, anywhere else. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're pretty laid back with using devices. And then I think my other favorite is Pittsburgh PNC Park. Get a season ticket holder ticket, and you get to go into left field early, right? And it's a short porch, so balls flying in there over and over and over and over again. At least I couldn't even tell you how many balls go in there. It's just the competitions can get a little bit tough in there, but yeah, there's a lot of action, a lot of running around. The only thing is those metal bleacher seats. They do hurt when you're jumping from seat to seat, landing on your shins. But all in all, fun, pretty easy, pretty good, pretty cool.
Has anyone noticed any unique things about stadiums? So, like an example, Rogers Center with the hotel, Wrigley Field with the Ivy, Baltimore with the warehouse and the court, center
Milwaukee
field.
with the restaurant.
What?
Milwaukee with TGI Fridays, they changed it though, where you could like watch it right on the field. You can catch home runs there.
Restaurant to be named later is the new place.
Yep.
I know.
Don't had a lot of
Has the
Canadians. I don't know
downtown.
what that was about.
Yeah. So just stuff like that. Has anyone noticed anything unique other than like the obvious kind of stuff you can see? Nothing like
I
that-
do like feeling the heat from the smokestacks in Cincy. Those things can get pretty warm.
Another cool thing is here in Kansas City with the fountains. You can literally get right next to it and touch the water. They get mad when you touch the water, but I mean, it's pretty cool when they're like, it's a hot day and the mist comes on you. That's pretty fun. Not a lot of stadiums have that. And you can walk right through center field too, behind the batter's eye.
I guess the bullpen setup in Baltimore, how you can overlook both the visiting team and the Orioles, along with the center field fence. I don't know if you guys really notice it, but sometimes they have ivy growing on there. Not quite what Chicago has, but you'll see it throughout the season because enough home runs go over there. Should be plenty of shots.
Cleveland center field bullpens also stand out. That's pretty cool. The Green Monster in Boston. Any like behind the scenes kind of thing that you notice just walking around that caught your eye?
The crime rate of Baltimore.
All right. So the next one is just food. So your favorite stadium, your favorite foods at the stadium. So which stadiums had the best foods and what were they? So, Robbie, do you want to go?
The best, you know what? They got rid of it. It was in Texas. It was the donut chicken sandwich. That was really good. And they got rid of it the season after. I luckily got a chance to eat it, and it was heaven. It was heaven on earth. I loved it. And also the fry box in Cincinnati was really good.
Joey?
Everything. I mean, Boogs has a fantastic stand out in center field where you can get pulled pork, where you can get smoked turkey, smoked whatever. It's great. If you haven't been there and had it yet, you need to.
Where is this?
Boogs Barbecue in center field,
What stadium?
Baltimore. I thought I said that at the beginning.
Oh, I didn't hear Baltimore. So
Oh, okay. Well, everything I'm going to say is about Baltimore because Nationals Park sucks. And everything's like 20 some odd dollars there. So screw them. Yeah, in Baltimore, you can get crab fries, which are delicious. You can get fresh oysters, which surprisingly are extremely delicious. The only thing I don't recommend are the dumplings. If you look on Zach Hampel's channel, we did a food review for them, and they were just awful. So everything else but that is good. As far as other stadiums, Atlanta had some good food, especially Turner Field, where you could order Chick-fil-A from your seats and have it brought down. Can't go wrong with Chick-fil-A. And then the new stadium, I don't know, I had a couple of beers, so everything tasted pretty good then.
Did they say my pleasure when they delivered it to you?
Oh, the whole time, especially when they're stepping over people to give me my food. They're stepping to you saying, my pleasure, my pleasure.
Russell?
San Francisco, if you like seafood, they got lots of great seafood at the ballpark.
I'm there.
Well, what's it called? Atlanta, Turner Field. They had a burgerizza. So it was small pepperoni pizza as the buns and a burger inside in the middle. It was great. Philadelphia, they have I've got the 9-stacker cheeseburger, nine pieces of cheese, 9 pieces of meat. That was probably one of the best burgers I ever had. Where else? You know who doesn't have good food? Kansas City. Their stadium sucks.
Hey,
It was all
delete this guy.
popcorn,
Get this guy out of here.
hot dogs,
He doesn't know what he talks
popcorn,
about.
Just garbage.
And
food.
Rochester has better food? I don't want to hear it.
They
No,
sure do.
Rochester looks like a
They
terrible
sure
airport.
do.
I don't want to hear nothing.
Oh
Don't ever
my
talk about
God.
Kansas City.
Going back to
Look, you're talking about awful food.
Now that
DC
Russell said
has-
it's the worst stadium for food, going back to Robbie and Joey, what was the worst stadium of food you've had?
Toronto, horrible.
Toronto was pretty bad, but National Stadium is just the worst. It's the worst everything.
All right, Thomas, best food places and worst food places.
Those are some really good questions. I don't usually go for the food, even though I'm a bigger guy and all. I tend to like get distracted by the game and just run up. If you have a good selection of some good beers, I'm there at that stadium. I know at Target Field there's one cart that has 22 different brews from around the Minnesota area. So just I definitely like the selection of beverages. For food, definitely Oracle Park, as Russ had mentioned, but I also like the ice cream cookie sandwich that they have there. It's a pretty healthy amount of ice cream sandwich. You can either get a cookie or a brownie, so that's pretty good there. I also like to at least try to take in when funds afford it, to sit behind home plate in the Champions Club or Crowns Club, something of that sort. And I want to say that Cincinnati, I think it's called the Diamond Club, has probably the best food of any ballpark. They have all-inclusive beverages, both tap beer as well as mixed drinks. So it's a really good experience. They allow you to hang out 45 minutes after the game. So just, you can take it in an hour and a half before the game up until 45 minutes post game. So that's the stadium I like for that experience. The worst food probably would have to be Oakland. I think it matches the stadium aesthetics and just doesn't really have the best of options. It's like you're walking up to the I don't know, just the stands aren't really built out very well. The concourse is horrible. I feel like the food tastes like the seats look. So
Josh?
All right. So actually, it's kind of comparable. Every time I go to a new stadium, I buy a hot dog. I bought a hot dog at every single stadium. That's like as basic as you can get. But I figure like if your hot dog's not good, like the rest of your food, every stadium's got something. But I always buy a hot dog, and the best hot dogs that I've gotten were unfortunately stadiums that like don't exactly exist anymore. It was old Arlington Park and the Omaha game. Those are the two best hot dogs I've had. And there's like good food, like TK mentioned, since it's got like the Diamond Club and stuff. But as far as just your basic like $5 hot dog, I'd say old Arlington and Omaha. Of the ones that I guess still exist, Pittsburgh and Cincinnati are pretty good. And just as like and I'll just say this, like the only place I haven't been is like the West Coast, so I can't judge any of the food out there. Worst food, I'd probably say anything in Comerica. Not only is it usually just cold as hell, every like thing I buy, not only is the weather cold, but like the hot dogs are cold, the popcorn's freezing,
and they spit in your pizza too.
Yeah, that Little Caesars is
probably.
trash.
Yeah, I don't know. Everything in Comerica is just like not cooked. Like it's just so cold. And then I will say, it was great, but it was also terrible. Robbie, when I was in Kansas City, they had like that like 2 foot. I have to say, okay, so I like I said, I love hot dogs. When I was in Kansas City, I got like that. It was like a foot or a 2 foot long hot dog, and I absolutely like loved it when I got my hands on it. But I'll be honest,
the hot dogs suck. You want to eat the bratwurst?
Oh, the bratwurst.
The bratwurst are good.
Oh, okay. Well, I had I had like that 1 or 2 foot long hot dog, and as amazing
No.
as it looked, it tasted terrible.
No, that was
So
your
all right,
mistake
I'll try
number one.
the bratwurst then.
Yeah, you want the bratwurst. It's in back of center field. The hot dogs are horrible. I'll admit that.
All right, so me,
Yeah.
worst food was Dodger Stadium. Absolutely zero choice. I felt like everywhere you went, all you could get was hot dogs. So
Oh, you don't like the Dodger dog?
I just didn't feel like a hot dog. I don't want to go to a game and have a hot dog. I can get there's nothing special about that.
I thought you liked
That's
Walmart.
that's the best thing about baseball: hot dogs and Cracker Jacks.
I want to try different
Yeah.
things. I don't
It's
need
almost
hot
like you're
dogs.
un-American here, Justin.
I didn't know y'all like long meat.
My 2 favorite food places. My first was San Fran. Had a chicken stir fry, fresh vegetables. Luckily I got down behind home plate from one of their local season ticket holders who brought me down with him. Under home plate, there's like a hidden cafeteria type place.
Who goes to baseball games for stir fry?
I just wanted something different, and it's healthy too. So was
That's the worst thing to get at a baseball game.
trying to lose weight on a diet.
It's like you're going for vegan options. Like, come on, bro.
What? The
Go to a
next one
soccer
is-
game then.
Yeah, go to you. No, you
the
go
next
for
one-
hot
the
dog.
next-
You go
the
for
next
like
place
real
we
food.
had was really good, but the stadium.
Justin, just mute yourself, man. At this.
We'll
No,
take
so
over
my,
this. Just mute yourself.
my
We're
next
taking his
place-
channel over. We're gonna help him out.
My next place favorite food was Pnc Park. I know a lot of
Oh my God!
but no, what I had the mac and cheese pulled pork.
Oh my gosh,
You can get that from Noodles and
What?
Company.
What?
dude!
What? So yeah, that
Dude,
was my two,
okay, When you go to a baseball game, you eat baseball food.
No, I'm going. If I'm going, I want to have something different. I can
It's
have
America's
something different.
pastime. He's Canadian. We got to think about that.
I had
And
to
what's
do
Russ's
something
excuse? He's
different.
like an honorary American here.
He's like,
Burgers and hot dogs,
I'm gonna
baby.
go to a baseball game for a salad. Who does that?
I'm not going to the game to lose weight. I'll lose weight
And a
from
bottle
running
of
around trying to get
Dasani
fat from
water.
all the
It's
food.
disgusting.
This
That's
body-
taking a lot for water.
They're going to be
Justin,
holding
tell-
that kale.
Tell them how many bottles of water you buy when you're at a game. The guy goes to the store and buys like 4 bottles of water.
And that's after I bring 3-4.
Yeah, $5 a bottle.
You go to a
Like-
game to eat stir fry? Dude.
Why not?
And
Oh
drink
my
Dasani water.
The song says, "Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks." Not buy me
Nachos,
some Maine.
pizza
That's-
if you're feeling lucky,
Anyway,
but
there's nothing
nachos, hot
unique about
dogs,
it. There's nothing unique about hot dogs and popcorn.
nachos. You ever have some good nachos?
If I want to
Cheese
eat that
fried?
stuff, I'll go to a movie.
Oh,
Look,
And
if you're
if I
gonna eat
want
that
stir
kind of
fry, I go
food,
to
I'll go to PF Change or something if I want stir fry.
Right.
Who does that?
yeah, look, if you're gonna eat that kind of food, go to that city's like
Local
restaurant or
establishment, yeah.
something. Yeah.
you were in San Francisco. Go to Chinatown.
Yeah, like why would you eat it at the stadium? Like that.
Get some cats and dog there.
All right, so moving on.
Thankfully,
What?
nothing.
Moving on. So it's either done by you or what you've seen. So worst mishap you've done or seen at a game.
Okay, I'll go first. The worst mishap I've seen in a game is Justin going to San Francisco and getting stir fry.
Well, you can't say that because you technically haven't seen it. You heard about it. So we can cross that off and say that doesn't count.
The worst
Oh no, it
mishap.
counts.
It counts. But the worst mishap I've seen was somebody spilt some nachos, and then people kept falling in the nachos. Like the cheese, the nachos attacked so many people. It was the best thing ever. But that was a pretty bad mishap. And also just eating stir fry. That's a pretty bad one too.
All right, so Josh.
Or that guy in Minnesota dropping the ball that was tossed up to him and becoming a GIF on MLB Network.
Josh.
All right, worst mishap. It was actually pretty terrible. I was at okay, no, it's called Guaranteed Rate now. I don't like that name. I'll call it U.S. Cellular. I was at Chicago, the White Sox, and after the game, I was sitting down by the home dugout, I thought like maybe I could get like a toss up or something. And this kid, like probably 10 years old, he got down there before me. He was like running down the stairs. They had a security guard sitting in a stool right by the entrance of the dugout. And he just stuck his arm out and clotheslined this kid, flipped the kid on his back on the stairs. And so the kid starts crying and the dude just keeps yelling at the kid like, oh, don't you be coming down here like yelling at like storming down here thinking you're gonna like get autographs, like the game's over, you need to leave now. And it was like honestly horrible. I've never seen something like that happen before. But this kid just gets clotheslined next to the dugout in Chicago. I don't know. And then I guess also there was this gross moment at Progressive in Cleveland. I was sitting in the outfield, and this dude had been drinking the entire game, and he just kind of puked all over himself, and that was kind of disgusting.
Russell?
Talk about my worst mishap. I was sitting front row with one of my buddies back when the Jays were really, really shit. Nobody was going to the games. We had, I think, 6 seats to ourselves, both of us. So almost the entire front row, even the second and third row all to ourselves. Right next to the batter's eye, Drew Hutchison's pitching. Mike Trout comes up, hits a bomb right to me. Don't have my glove on. It's on the ground. I get up to pick up my glove. I take 2 steps. It hits the batter's eye. I missed a Mike Trout home run. If I haven't been paying attention, had my glove on, I would have caught a Trout homer. And I have it on video. That's my worst mishap.
Thomas, do you want to say yours, or because I know it's been brought up in a previous video, but we can say what yours was. Okay, I guess I'll say mine and then go back to Thomas.
Little man said, "Why does Justin eat such bad food?"
So mine was calling a player by name. I called Jaime Garcia Jamie, so that was one in his response. Another was a ball was tossed to somebody. I was sitting with the third out ball. I was hanging out with somebody at the Rogers Center. I'm not going to name names. But a ball was thrown to them. It was the Jays against the Twins. The ball was thrown to them, and a guy jumps over from like a couple seats for the ball, spills his own beer on this person. Ball falls onto the ground, and this guy's picking up a ball after he just spilled his beer on somebody. And yeah, so that's another. And then another one.
Wait, I know one that you did.
Hey,
Dansby. Hey, Dansby.
Okay,
I'm not Dansby.
I'll do that one. That was another wrong name. I called Corey Kluberson Dansby Swanson. And then in Tampa Bay, foul balls, which is on video. I missed a couple foul balls, and yeah, I lifted my
horrible.
Thinking he was gonna.
How about Trevor Bauer?
What? Trevor Bauer?
Bullock.
Oh,
if he had a couple of hot dogs, you probably would have caught him.
He deserved that. And then Tampa for me. So I've had about 4 pretty bad mishaps. But or no, I've had 3 and I've seen 1. But yeah, so Thomas, do you want to say your worst mishap or one that you've seen?
I don't know how much time we got.
I'll give you.
We got time. Come on, brother.
Yeah.
I swear every time I go for a commemorative baseball, I become some sort of story at that stadium. And Cincy, I was, just before the game, I was, the spin off I'm going to blame the spin off the track. I scooped one up, it rolled up my glove. I didn't squeeze it, I guess, and it flew out. And then during the game, I went for a grounder, hit the top of my glove and bounced up to the person behind me. And then one that's been mentioned here is the one that made a GIF out of. Just had some pretty awful day at Great American Ballpark. I was talking to one of the camera crew in the Diamond Club the next night. He's like, I saw you last night. You were pure gold. And he's like, I had a camera on you all night. So that was probably the most mishap. it was pretty bad. So Sky News and Britain was picking my stuff up. So anyhow.
Was it like George Costanza at the tennis game eating ice cream like that? He had his camera on you like that?
Yeah, it was something like that because the next day the Sky News said, I really feel bad for this guy. He should get a beer. And they had the gift going next to, how the infomercials are where the people are struggling with the ladder and stuff. And like, this is this guy at a baseball game. So, so that's probably my worst mishap. I've been here also with a guy that I saw, reaching for the ball, but he fell his entire body fell onto the field and he quickly got over. But, once your body is fully on the ground, you're kicked out of the game. So this guy just went to scoop up a ball for his daughter, kind of jumped over, grabbed it, got back, and ended up being removed for that game. So lesson to be learned: don't go onto the field.
Now, do you have access to the gift? Because I have not seen it.
Yeah, I'm sure we could drop it.
Please do.
I'll put it on.
Send it to me.
Yeah,
I won't say
okay.
that.
Put it in the chat.
I'll do that.
Has anyone had a crazy experience when they seen a fan, like probably everyone's seen a fan run onto the field live at a game, but did something happen that was like unique? Like,
I got one kind of referring back to the worst thing you've seen. This is from Zach. He posted on his YouTube channel. It's called "That Time I Almost Died at Camden Yards." And if you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. I was right behind him when it happened, and I really thought he broke his neck during it. He stepped up on his seat and jumped up to get a batting practice home run and landed pretty much straight on his back and neck on the chair. And just the impact was horrible.
any crazy stories about fans running on the field?
We had Batman run onto the field in Camden Yards.
Oh, so that's unique. And so last topic, best moment at a game. Joey?
I mean, it could be a couple of things, like from seeing Austin Wynns get up to the majors after everything, he not being a highly recruited prospect, someone that the Orioles didn't think too highly of, became friends with him and Frederick, saw him get bounced around and kind of screwed over a bunch of times, and see him finally make it to the majors was cool. Or Frederick during their playoff game where back and forth battle and bomb the ninth game-winning hit from them, and the guy sliding into home. I thought I was down on the field saying slide, just like everyone else. Like, those are the two best memories for me.
Russell?
I would say probably my entire spring training trip last year. 6 days, batting practice from 8 in the morning till probably 11:30. Watching all 6 fields, me and 3 of my buddies. I think we ended up with probably 275 baseballs in those 6 days. It was the only reason why we didn't get more is because we had to go to the game. There's a lot of teams that take batting practice even after the major leaguers take off for game time. Minor leaguers stick around and they hit for hours and hours and hours. So probably my spring training experience in Arizona was probably my best.
Robbie?
Your best experience? I just want to make sure I got that right.
Yeah.
When I caught that foul ball from Eric Hosmer, it was kind of like my first game ball that I ever caught. And I mean, I told the story previously, but I mean, literally my dad and I were going to our seats and I turned around and the ball fell right in my hand. I mean, I have a glove. My glove wasn't even nowhere near me and the ball literally fell in my hand. So that was kind of the best day of me just catching a random baseball on a nice, sunny, warm day. That was it.
Thomas?
I would say back in 2009, it was going to be the last regular season game at the Metrodome. Turned out the Twins won that game and ended up playing game 163. One of the most memorable games I've ever attended was definitely game 163 against Detroit Tigers. Winner went to the playoffs, won the division. So that was one of my highlights. It was actually the last Twins win in the Metro before they got swept out by the Yankees. Seems to be a theme. So yeah, that's definitely one of my highlights of my attending career.
So we all know you hate the Yankees. So that you made that pretty clear. Josh, you want to go? Your best moment at a game?
You know, you get on TV, all that.
Josh?
Someone didn't pay their internet bill.
I said before. What?
You're cutting in and out.
Remember, Cash App, Swack It, Jag It, or help Josh Gelman pay his internet bill. All proceeds will go to the internet.
Josh, your best moment at a game?
Just 19 cents a day to help this guy get great internet.
For 21 cents a day, we could get Justin a hot dog.
No, stir fry.
Josh?
Yeah, my bad. I'm cutting in and out so much.
The last
Yeah, we
thing.
can hear you now.
All right. Hopefully it works this time. Yeah. I'd say the World Series game I went to last year had to be up there just because it was during the COVID season. I didn't even think I was going to go to a game, and I'd never been to even a playoff game. So World Series game last year, each of the times they caught a home run, those are pretty special.
All right, so I'm just going to say mine and then wrap this up. So mine was catching my first ever foul ball, which I talked about in the last video when we talked about our baseballs. But yeah, so I know Joey, Robbie, and Thomas all have YouTube accounts. Do you just want to shout out your YouTube accounts quickly so people can go and follow if need be when they know where to look? So Joey, do you want to shout out yours?
I don't really use my YouTube too much anymore, but I do have Twitter at Legend of Joey. And then Bug has one. How Bug Will Travel. So you'll get to see him during a bunch of baseball stuff too.
Russell, do you want to shout out your Twitter?
It's at RussBrett316.
Josh, your Twitter?
It's at Gleberman Joshua, and my last name's terrible, so I can just spell it. It's at GLEBERMAN Joshua. Mostly I just post and retweet a lot of baseball stuff.
Robbie, your YouTube account and your TikTok account.
Yost Malone. You can also follow me on TikTok at Yost Malone1, and my Twitter is Yost_Malone1, and my YouTube Yost Malone.
Thomas?
Yeah, mine is I do a collaboration with my spouse. RTK Adventures is our YouTube channel, RTK Adventures, and then we use that for Instagram as well as Twitter.
All right, so just going to wrap this up. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a comment what your thoughts, your opinions on all our topics.
Wait, one more thing, Justin. I'd like to also give a shout out to the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Their Twitter is at Blue Crabs. Me and Yost are going to be out there in July. Come watch them throw a first pitch. Watch me get hit in the balls by them. Should be a great time for everyone.
Yeah, it's going to be great. You guys are more than welcome to come. We'll make sure we have dates. We want to invite everybody, make it like kind of a mini ball hug fest. Hopefully get on the field access, behind the scenes access that nobody else will get to see. Only here live on Justin Schwartz's channel.
So yeah, please leave a like, subscribe, hit the bell for notification when I upload. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, please subscribe.